Alright, welcome back YouTube family. We got an interesting situation here today. You already know another brake fix situation with this car. This is a 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe, and sort of describe what the problem is. And it has to do with this door unlock sensor that you guys see here. So what's happening right now is even though the doors are closed and locked, you guys can see it's locked, it's showing that the doors are still open, which tells me that the sensor is either broken or there's something wrong with the latch, right? Which is providing a signal to the car that sensor is still active. So that's the issue. We're gonna try to fix it, and let's see what happens. Something else I want to mention is that if the door signal is telling the car that the car is still open, then what you're going to have happen is you're going to have this light turn on, right? And it's going to stay on even when your doors are closed. Okay, so see that? Door's closed and your light is still on. And what's going to happen is that your battery is going to drain, and you're going to wake up one morning and realize that your battery's dead, and you're not going to know why. So once you discover the issue, you definitely got to turn this off and keep it off until you buy the parts that you need in order for you to fix the actuator and fix the issue. Now, one thing is you got to figure out like which door is causing the problem, right? And so is it the right side or is it the left side? So let's go ahead and turn the car on. All right, so we turn the car on. Okay. And we got to figure, okay, there you go. All right, so the car is telling you right there that it's the right side. Right? Even though the car is, all right, I'm going to put it in drive. There you go. I'm going to lock the, okay. All right, yep, so that it's the right side. So the right side is your problem. And now you know which, when you order the parts, you know exactly which part to order, because if you order the wrong part, then you're going to have a problem, okay? So, all right, let's go ahead and actually get the fixing. All right, so let's talk about the part that I ordered. So this is the part right here. This is the actuator that goes in the door, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly where it goes. Okay, all right, so that's this. Okay, that's this right here. This is the problem. This connects to this, all right? And so for whatever reason, this right here, I think the problem is that it's kind of like loose, and you kind of see it looks a little beat up over the years. And so what happens is when the door hits this jam, I guess, it pushes this way, right? So what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to connect, like click, and then that tells the car that, okay, based on the signal, that this is now closed. And for whatever reason, it's just not. I think this part right here is just too loose and old. So we gotta replace this, and I'm gonna walk you through the steps, all right? All right, so we're going to take this door apart. And first we're going to take this out. Okay, and now there's a screw here. We're going to have to pull this apart and get the screw out. And then lastly, in here should be another screw that we're going to take out. And once we take this out, we should be able to go to the bottom of this. You can probably see this here. There are these two, let's see here. Yep, there are these two little slots here underneath the door panel. We're going to pull it out and get the clips out, and it just comes right off. All right, so for this piece here, you gotta get a flathead, or if you have something that can fit here to just sort of pull it apart. There's no screws, you just gotta find a way to pry it open. You can use maybe like a pry bar if you got a small enough one. There you go. Alright, very simple. And then what you want to do is go ahead and separate the connection here. And that's it. And then you're going to put it aside. That's your first step. Second step is to pry this open as well. This little piece here. So you guys can see it. Let's see if I can use this to get in there. There we go. Try not to lose your parts. Okay. Alright, so this one doesn't really come off all the way, but we'll just leave it like that. And I'm going to take this out. I usually get a little baggie like this to hold all my you know, my screws, just so you don't lose them. So the next step is going to be this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. So it took me a little while to kind of figure this out, but basically there are little push pins that's holding the door, and so you really have to put a lot of effort into it. You gotta like grab it and actually like pry it open. Once you get one of them pried open, you're able to stick your hand in there and pry it open. So right now you guys can see it's kind of loose, and so you just grab it, wiggle it, you should be able to get this off pretty easy. Alright, so look at that. Pretty straightforward. See if I can show you guys this. That's what that looks like. Right, and these are the push pins, right? These are the push pins right here. Hold on. These are the push pins right here. See those green push pins? That's what's holding it. And those are tough to get out, so you gotta put a lot of elbow grease into it to get it off. Alright. Alright, so it's gonna be hard to do, but so right here where you see this little cable, there's a little tab right here. Okay, you gotta lift it up. Okay, just you gotta pull it. There you go. And lift it up, and that should come out just like that. Okay, and then now you gotta take out all of these connections that are connecting the door. Okay, and there's like this little tab right there. You just gotta pull them out. That's it. And this one as well too. Careful when you're pulling these out. You don't want to pull too hard. So I'm gonna put the phone down and try to do this a little bit better. All right, guys, I finally got it out. This one was a little bit difficult, but there's a little tab right here. You just gotta pull it and pull it out. Okay, take this one out as well too. And this is one of the connectors to that actuator. So this is what it looks like. You know, put your panel away. So now we got to figure out what to do about the window, because you do got to take this panel off, which means you're going to have to undo all of these 8-inch bolts. So to do that, we got to get this window secured. And so the way to do that is you got to pull these tabs off. So there's these little rubber tabs. There's 2 of them, one right here and one right there. So we're gonna pull that off. Okay. And then we're gonna turn the car on, not all the way on, but enough to just roll down the window until you see a little bolt show up. And I'm gonna just put the phone down and get that done, and I'll come back and show you guys. All right, guys. So I had to learn something there, because in order to get the windows to roll down, to get these two 10 mil bolts to line up, I had to plug the panel back in, and plug it into these two connections in order to use the power control to roll the window down. Right. So without that, you're not gonna get these two to line up. So these are 10 mil. I'm gonna go ahead and definitely use I would say a drill with a magnetic, because you don't want this bolt to fall down into this hole. If that happens, that might be a problem trying to get that back out. So definitely use a magnetic a 10 mil or just a drill bit in order to get it out. Alright, so one thing you're going to need is blue tape. I'm going to explain the reason why you need this. Is once you've taken out those two bolts, this is now, you're going to notice it's kind of loose. The good news is there's enough tension where this glass isn't going to just fall down and shatter, right? So there's enough tension to lift it up, and then we're going to use the tape to hold it up, okay? You got to do this. If you don't do this, you're going to have a problem. So let's go ahead and take care of that. If you have help to hold the glass while you tape it, then do that, but right now it's just me. So I'm going to do this by myself. Alright, that window's not going anywhere. I mean, you can go ahead and do a couple more if you need to, but I think I'm pretty good. This isn't going anywhere. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take these out. Exactly what I said just happened. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay, whatever. It's okay, because we're gonna go ahead and take these out anyway, and we'll be able to get it. But when it's time to put it back in, you definitely need like a magnetic bit in order to stop it from falling. Because if it falls back in there, then you're gonna have to undo everything again in order to get it back out, so you can put it back in. So there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out, and these are all 8 mil. So I'm gonna go get the tool in order to do that. Alright, we're gonna have to take these off here. So let's do that first, and then we should be able to start prying this apart. The reason why you got to do that is because as you pry this apart, it's gonna move this. This is connected to this actual little section here, so you got to take this out first. Alright, in order to give you a little bit more allowance to be able to move this thing around, there are these clips here. You're going to need a nose plier in order to undo those, just to give this a little bit more free, more play, so you can move this, pull this out. Okay, we're going to do that right now. Alright, so I found that in order to make this a little bit easier, you're gonna have to take these this door handle off. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. There is a little slot here, and we're gonna get through that, and there should be a screw in there that we can unscrew in order to get this off. So let's go ahead and do that. flathead screw. I don't know if you guys can see this, but in there is a, let's see if you can see that. There you go. That's the gold screw you gotta get out. Okay. And so the way it works is you gotta wiggle this. To get this off. And then you gotta move this way to pull it out. So there goes your handle. And so now that the handle is out of the way, there is one screw right here that you gotta get out of the way. Take that out. It's a special kind of screw, so you can't mess that up. All right. So one thing that you guys will notice is here there is these little fingers right here. And right there, you're gonna want to just move that around a little bit because you want to free it up. And let's go ahead and do that. All right, see how that moved? There you go. So now it's loose, and that's gonna allow you to then pull this out pretty freely without any problems. Whoa. 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 Alright, well, that happened pretty quickly. So now you have the whole mechanism out. Alright, this is what you gotta fix, or you gotta replace. Okay. It's good to always study how it comes out, because when you study how it comes out, then you know exactly how to put it back in. All right, let's go get our replacement part. And you want to make sure that your replacement part has all the tabs and all the things you need in order to put it back exactly how it came out. So I'm going to take a look here. Yep, this looks like it has everything I need. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so, yep, this goes here. Let me show you. This goes here. They made this pretty dump proof, right? So you can kind of see that the small one goes into this, and then this is a longer one. This goes this way, right? So you really can't mess this up. All right. So go ahead and stick that in there. It's a little tricky, but you get it eventually. I think the best way to do this is from the side. It's a lot easier to, there you go. Alright, and then put this in here. Alright, that's in. Same thing with this. Hey guys, so it started raining real bad. So I had to improvise and pull the car in. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start talking through what happened here and what I was able to get done. So do apologize, it's a little bit darker. I am inside the garage. All right, so this is the old device that just came out, And I'm just gonna walk you guys through how to get it out to begin with from the panel. It's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. This is what was attached here, and that was attached to this panel. So let me go ahead and lift that up. All right, let's go ahead and talk through what we were able to get done here. Okay, so, all right, so this is the old one. This came out of here, okay? And I'm gonna walk you guys through how I got it off. Okay, we can go. So do apologize, it's a little bit dark in here. I am in the garage, got rained on while I was taping. So I had to improvise. Okay, so I already put the new module in. This is the new module. Basically, all you're doing is just unclipping all of these things, right? And removing the old one, removing these little rubber, they call these rubber grommets, right? And then taking it out. Now this little area here is where it got a little complicated. So you have this wire that comes through here, and it feeds back into here. All you have to do is take this out, get some needle nose pliers, and clip this in order to take this out. Right, so you're gonna end up disengaging this from this unit, and all you have to do is it's just these little clips right here. You just gotta push it in and pull it out, and then also take this out. This is just you guys can see this here. It's real easy to take out. You just gotta pull this up, just push it this way, pull it out, and then get the new one and wire right back the way you see it. Right, so this goes here. This piece goes back in here, clips this back on, and this little piece here goes down there. And that's it. And then get your panel, put it in, insert this back in here. You're gonna see these three little prongs, right? These go in here. You see the three little prongs here? So you just have to, it just goes right back the way you took it out. Right, but first you want to put this in first, right? You want to put this grommet back in. The unit that I bought did come with the grommet, with 3 grommets. Okay, so yours should come with it as well. And so all you gotta do now is just put this back in the way it came out. We're gonna do that right now. Now you guys see this plug here? This plug here goes right back in here. Okay. There's nothing else to it. Yep, just feeds right back in here. Make sure you hear that click. And that's it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this. Yep, there you go. There you have it. Now it's in. Okay. Okay. Voila. Okay. It's okay if you want to hold it in place so it doesn't fall off, you can just go ahead and just put like one of the screws back in. Just to hold it in place. Nothing crazy. Alright, I put this one back in just to hold it. Next step is to go here, and you can actually use your fingers to set this in place. Okay, you just gotta pull it in and set it. It pops, and you're gonna hear pop. Okay, and there's gonna be a little pincer right here that's gonna come right through this door, just this little hole, and that's gonna set it. Okay, so now you're good. Okay, you can go ahead and then actually reinstall this. But first, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and fasten this screw. Okay, this is what holds the door handle piece. Actually, no. Wait, don't do this just yet. You gotta wait. You could probably put a couple of screws here just to hold this part in, and it holds it in place. And then make sure you find this, because this is what's gonna go here and connect these two. You can actually go ahead and put that in right now. Okay, see this little piece here? Goes right here. There you go. And then this connects here. Then you do this one. There you go. You don't need to fasten this. Don't fasten it. Just to hold it in place, just so you don't get a lot of movement. All right, got the handles. Let's go ahead and get that going. Now remember, there was a weird looking screw that had a plastic piece on it. We need to find that, because this right here, right, this needs to go back exactly where it came from. Now your door handle's back to normal. And then you gotta remember, you gotta put the cap back on. This rubber cap. This one I have a baggie, so but never lose them, you know. All right, we're good. All right, so now it's time to get these in. Okay, get your 230. Okay, that's these. I got a gold tip one, or bronze, or copper. All right, let's go ahead and get these 10 mils in. We're ready to do that now. Alright, so next steps now are to go ahead and let's go ahead and get this window back down. Remember what I said? This window has there's some resistance there. So if you take this off, it's not gonna just completely fall down and shatter. So you can go ahead and just take it off. Alright. Take your tape off. And then you should be able to slide this down back to that initial position. Okay, it sits on a track, so you should be able to just slide it right back to where it was, initial position. There you go. That's it. Okay, and then now we're gonna go ahead and secure it with those with the screws that we took out. All right, screw it back on. This should hold it in place. Alright, now you guys remember, this came out from here. So we gotta put it back in there. Put this one back in. Just reconnecting all the wires you took out. And then from there, alright, so actually, before you put this back on, it's probably a good idea for you to test this out. Okay? You want to test this out. So go get your keys and see if you can if you can pull the window up, you know, see if it actually fixes this issue with the latch. We're gonna do that right now. You guys can see that? Window works. Goes all the way up. No problem. Alright. So that works as well too. Now the question is the door sensor now off? Go ahead and lock the door. Okay, I'm gonna just take let me show you guys. So you know, you hit the button. You should still see the door open, right? Now, what happens is when you can test this out, right? Before you close this up, you can test this out. Just go in here, grab that latch, and take your key and flip it this way. When you flip it this way, then It's gone. It's gone. So this works. This works, guys. It works. Okay? Alright. Alright, so you want to test it first before you close everything up, or else you're gonna have to take it all back out again. Alright? Just go ahead and close it, and then you can just flip this in and go check your sensor, and your sensor should be off. And I just did that and it works. So you can go ahead and close this up. Alright, looks good. And then you want to go ahead and put this back in. Connect the electrical. Alright guys, it's official. We've solved this problem. This is no longer a problem. And one thing you will notice is that when you close the door now, it actually sounds correct. Like it doesn't sound weird like it used to. So now when you close it, you hear that sound? It sounds a whole lot better. Which tells me that this side is probably going to start having the same issue, because listen to what it sounds like when you close it. It doesn't sound as good as with the new actuator on this side, right? Listen to that again. See how soft that is? It's a whole lot better. And also, now, you see how that's on now? Right? Alright, so when you close it, and you close the door, you shouldn't see that anymore. So let's go ahead and close the door. Now it's gone. Alright. And also, when you turn the car on, alright, system check. There you go. You're not going to see that right side door open anymore. So, goodbye and thank you. See you guys on the next one.